Y'all, this is number 9 out of 3.3, and the problem says find the polynomial of degree 3 with real coefficients and zeros of -3, -1, and 4. Okay, a couple of things. Since we're asked to be, since we're asked to find a polynomial of degree 3, that means that the highest power of x we're going to have, y'all, is going to be an x to the third. Okay, so that's the first thing. Second thing, they're giving me the zeros. They're telling me that the zeros are x equals -3, x equals -1, and x is equal to 4. These are what we call the zeros of the function. Now that we have the zeros, we can then write out what we call the factors, okay? So the factors are going to be, I'm going to use each of these zeros, and I'm going to bring the numbers back over to the side where the x is. So what I mean by that is I'm going to leave that x alone. When I bring that -3 over, that -3 is crossing the equal sign, so it becomes a +3. Same thing with this one here. I'm going to leave the x alone. I'm going to bring the -1 back over here. It's going to become an x plus 1. And one last time I'll do it here. Since it's a +4 and we cross the equal sign, we're now going to have a -4. Okay, so these are my factors. Now that we have that part, we're going to go ahead and start to write out our polynomial. So my polynomial is going to look like this. There's going to be some coefficient a. I'm going to have to find the value of a. I'll do that in a minute. And then I'm just going to have my 3 factors right next to it. So we have an x plus 3, we have an x plus 1, and we have an x minus 4. Okay, so they gave us one other piece of information here in the problem. And the piece of information that they gave us was that f of -2 was equal to 12. So remember what that means. That means that when x is -2, f of x, or the y value, is equal to 12. So now I'm going to put a 12 right here, and everywhere I have an x, I'm going to plug in the number -2. Okay, so I have a 12 equals a, let's see, -2 plus 3 is 1, -2 plus 1 is -1, -2 minus 4 is -6. Okay, I'm going to do this on the next slide because I am running out of room here. So now I have 12 equals, let's see, let's go back one more time. I'm going to multiply these numbers together. So 1 times -1 times -6 should be a +6. So 6 with an A. And then we can divide both sides by 6, right? And I'm coming up with A is equal to 2. Okay, excuse me. So now that I have A equals 2, what we're going to do is we're going to come back to the polynomial that we first had, right? And let's see. Oh my goodness, where were we? Okay, here we go. This part right here, I'm going to have to plug in, let's see. I'm going to have to plug in the 2 where the A used to be. Okay, so 2, and then we had our 3 factors, which were, what was it, x minus 3, x minus 1, x plus 3, I'm sorry, x plus 1, x minus 4. X plus 3, x plus 1, x minus 4. Okay, now, normally I would say this is good. There's only one issue. In my lab, right here, they're telling me to simplify my answer and that we do not want it factored. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to do a whole lot of multiplying right now, okay? And so let's go ahead and do that on the next page. So I'm going to do this here, y'all. I'm going to write f of x. Let me go ahead and multiply these together. And so that's going to give me a 2x plus 6, okay? Let me go ahead and multiply these together. So that's going to give me an x squared. That's going to give me a minus 4x, a plus 1x, and a minus 4, okay? So now I have f of x equals 2x plus 6. And then, let's see, we can combine these together to give me a negative 3x. So x squared minus 3x, and I believe it was a minus 4. Yep, minus 4. Okay, almost done, y'all. F of x equals, now let's go ahead and start to distribute. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3. So 2x and x squared is 2x to the third. 2x and a minus 3x is a minus 6x squared. 2x and a negative 4 is a negative 8x. Let's see, 6 times x squared is a positive 6x squared. 6 times minus 3x is a minus 18x. And 6 times negative 4 is a minus 24. And so, let's see. Now I have a 2x to the third. This 6x squared and this 6x squared will cancel each other out. A minus 8 and minus 18 should leave me with a minus 26 with an x. And then finally a minus 24. This here is my final answer. I want you to notice something, y'all. Look at this first term. If you remember what we said from the very beginning, I kind of erased it right here, but the highest power we're going to have was an x to the third. And if you look right here, there's our x to the third. So this right here is the answer that we're looking for, okay? If y'all have any questions, let me know. I'm happy to help.